Well, before I get into putting together this ill-advised video, I think we should understand the nature of the subject in question.
He's really black.
Yeah, but he's not a real black, is he?
What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know. I just said it
He's
to annoy
black.
people.
That dude's black. He's
my Twitter is
100%.
going to be ridiculous now. I don't even know what I mean by that. Look, he's hard.
Do you not like gay people?
No, of course I don't. Of course I don't. They're awful. Being
you.
gay, you should be toppling out of a nightclub off your tits on ketamine at 4 p.m. on a Monday afternoon. Call yourself a homosexual. You drive a Golf. Like, you know, just stop it.
He's got a Range Rover.
Stop
but
it.
Carry on.
Stop it. Get the kid to school by 8. Oh no, I've got to get back because I've got bridge club at 10. Just die.
Milo's just a troll. He's a shit stirrer, right? He's a
Piece of shit.
Oh, hey, Tim. I've never done a response to you. I mean, I've talked about you to some degree.
It's reminiscent of Elliot Rodger.
Oh, come on. But I guess I do need help here. The subject matter of this video, it's not nice. It's not clean and easy. It's nuanced and just not very fun. So let's do it.
Hello, this is a quick car-based... God, I know.
Yeah. And also, it's 17 minutes long.
But I just have to make a comment on this because it's fucking unreal. It's unbelievable how fucked the skeptic community has become. It's become a den of pedophilia, child rape apologists. It's fucking sick. This entire sphere of YouTube is corrupt to the core. It's just fucked.
You fucking drama whore.
Now let me explain what the hell's going on. So Milo Yiannopoulos, a right-wing troll and piece of shit, a year something ago said that he was aware of people at parties in Hollywood, etc., who were raping children.
Of a similar stature in Hollywood. I went to their boat parties and to their house parties and things, and some of the things I have seen have beggared belief. And some of the boys there were very young. Very young.
And this is really recently?
I don't remember. No, like, I don't know, 8 years ago. I don't remember.
Statute of limitations.
It's good we're starting off here because this is the one single, absolutely 100% indefensible thing in this whole situation. If we take it on face value to mean that what he witnessed was in fact a party full of underage boys being given drugs and statutory raped, and he said nothing about it, I can't defend that. The problem is he hasn't said enough about this or responded to it directly. It seems likely, and this is fucked up, that alerting the authorities would end in no action taken against such influential people, and if these people knew Milo was the one who alerted the authorities, it could be very bad for him. So how sure are we that he didn't say something to the authorities? The one thing I can say with absolute certainty is that entering into this conversation to begin with was a very stupid idea.
And he said himself that he was raped as a child, and it's very confusing because he said, at 14, I was the predator, and yet I was raped.
No, he never said he was raped. In the Rogan interview, he said he was the predator, and a few days ago, he said he was a victim of child abuse, but didn't and still doesn't view himself as a victim.
My relationship with my abusers is complicated by the fact that at the time, I didn't perceive what was happening as abusive. But I can look back now and see that it was. I still don't view myself as a victim, but clearly I am one.
So his story is a bit confusing. He was the predator, and he was the aggressor. But he's got Stockholm Syndrome because he was abused as a kid, even though he said he was the predator.
I was the predator.
Wow.
I was the predator.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
How the fuck are you confused about this, Tim? I have a problem with this. Do you think it's okay to fuck 14-year-old boys? If a 14-year-old boy wants to fuck you, do you think that because they are consenting that they cannot be victims? Just the fact that you are confused about this is starting to sound like hebephilia apologetics. Are you pro-hebephilia, Tim? I just don't understand how you don't understand the things you don't understand.
Lee was making the fallacious argument that he can't slander people. He can still go to the authorities and they can still investigate. He doesn't have to say it in public.
He doesn't have to say it in public. He doesn't have to say it in public. You are sure, you are 100% sure that he didn't report it and that he had nothing, he just didn't say anything. But he doesn't have to say it in public. So how are you going to know? You fucking idiot.
So we have someone who knows about child rapists and will not do anything about it, won't report it to the authorities.
And we know that because he didn't say it in public, but he doesn't have to say it in public. But since he didn't say it in public, he's protecting pedophiles and is a monster.
And we've got straight up apologetics for pedophilia. And the skeptic community responds by saying, lay off Milo's case, he's a victim of rape, and all this kind of thing, which is fine, but these are the people who have denigrated and insulted and made fun of rape victims and listen and believe for so long, and now suddenly they have just become Anita Sarkeesian overnight.
I don't really think listen and believe works here. The difference between Milo and someone throwing out rape allegations is that Milo isn't accusing anyone of rape. I'd be far less likely to believe him outright if he did actually name names like you want him to so badly. Nobody's life and livelihood is being put at risk because he hasn't named anybody. But just like Waz Lee was, I am 100% open to the possibility that much of or even all of this was fabricated, especially because it's Milo. I do consider it likely he isn't lying because if these wild stories are true, it explains a lot about Milo's emotionally needy and attention-craving behavior. We're talking about a guy that did an impromptu live stream because he thought he was bit by a spider. This dude's got fucking issues.
Between the ages of 13 and 16, 2 men touched me in ways they should not have. One of those men was a priest.
If you look at all of the rape reporting on campuses, for instance, well, every single one that I've ever heard of has turned out to be fake.
The fact that you edited this whole thing together and thought to yourself, I'm making good points here, is really depressing to me. Do you not see the difference between publicly accusing innocent people of rape and what Milo did? I'm actually starting to think you might be a bad person.
I still don't view myself as a victim, but clearly I am one.
And unfortunately, the problem is that a lot of this is underpinned by this sort of constant victimhood complex.
And then another thing that comes up is like, what about Sarah Nyberg? So Sarah Nyberg was a person who got in trouble for soliciting underage sex from someone on the internet. It was a crime. Was it wrong? Of course it fucking was. But the difference there is that Sarah Nyberg, they do not go out in public and advocate for pedophilia or child rape, as far as I'm concerned. They see it as a very dark part of their past that they want to forget and move on from. I believe that it's possible for redemption and to move on in your life. The difference between that and Milo...
The difference between Nyberg and Milo is that Nyberg is a pedophile and Milo is a victim of child abuse.
Is Milo is right now, currently, actively saying that he knows about child rapists and is not going to do anything about it, and at the exact same time, literally making apologetics for child rape. Right now.
I'm horrified by that impression. I would like to restate my disgust at adults who sexually abuse
He's not
minors.
apologetic for anything. He thinks that what he's doing is right. You think that...
But I said some things on those internet live streams that were simply wrong.
It's not the same as the Sarah Nyberg thing, because that is something that was litigated and it's in the past now. If Sarah Nyberg advocated for child rape or pedophilia right now, I would be like, my God, this person is still a monster.
I do not advocate for illegal behavior. I do not believe that any change in the legal age of consent is justifiable or desirable. I don't believe that sex with 13-year-olds is okay. When I mentioned the number 13, I was talking about myself and the age that I lost my virginity.
Which has already been litigated in order to excuse things that are happening right now. And that's why I think it's basically become the child rape apologist community.
Perfect. Beautiful. I'm on board. I never consider myself a part of a quote-unquote community, but I will call myself a part of the hashtag child rape apologist community. It's a little long. Let's just call it rape community. The rape community. How about that? We're all about rape. Fuck yourself.
He knows rapists, you know. It's the same guy who just a few months ago called Sarah Nyberg a pedophile. Somebody who has been through the entire process already. You know, Milo hasn't been through any of this.
Milo hasn't raped anybody. What process do you want him to go through? Do you not fucking know the difference between an actual pedophile and someone who was fucking molested as a child? Fucked him. Let's go over the Drunken Peasants clips real quick.
But I do have to wonder, if Milo is okay with
It's this
adults
guy.
getting their cocks
Yeah, I
sucked by
know.
14-year-olds, what would happen if a 14-year-old
Yes.
wanted to...
Yeah, look at him. Holy shit.
Is that me
That's
without
Milo.
like glasses on? Hold on. Hold on,
It
let's look at
does,
the right way.
it
More
does
hair.
look like Paul. It's
does.
British Paul.
It's British Paul with hair.
Jesus
Can we put some
Christ,
aviators
man.
on him?
Sorry, that wasn't relevant at all. Hang on a sec.
It's because we have to set some kind of a barometer here. We've got to pick an age and go, okay, look, this is the age where we can reasonably be assured you're an adult, you can give informed consent, you understand the risks and pregnancy risks and all that bullshit.
And I think the law is probably about right. That's probably roughly the right age. I think it's probably about okay. But there are certainly people who are capable of giving consent at a younger age. I certainly consider myself to be one of them. People who are sexually active younger. I think in the gay world, some of the most important, enriching, and incredibly, life-affirming, important, shaping relationships, very often between younger boys and older men, can be hugely positive experiences for those young boys.
So he doesn't think the age of consent is wrong, but he does think that certain boys are old enough and mature enough to consent to sex. This doesn't look like advocation of illegal activity, but it does sound like a guy who was sexually abused and is making excuses as to why he's not fucked up now. But he is fucked up, and he's wrong. 13-year-olds can't consent to adults because they are not mentally or emotionally prepared to process these encounters. This isn't rape in the clearest sense of the word, but regardless if he feels like a victim or not, or if he was the predator, he absolutely is a victim. My opinion is that the end result of this is that Milo drank and did drugs and went to wild parties and developed a really fucked up opinion of homosexuality that is inherently deviant and degenerate.
How do you stay thin?
Speed. Sex and drugs. It's like any other gay person.
After this information came out last year, my reaction was, this explains everything. I don't think Milo was at all unaffected by his abuse. And this would have first taken place in 1998. Do you know what 1998 was like for gay people? It wasn't great. And compound that with a strictly religious environment, there is nothing unbelievable about this scenario or the resulting human being adult that it led to. Tim, don't fucking pretend you're the compassionate one when you abandon any and all nuance behind a situation you have not even tried to understand. I left out all the slams you made against other YouTubers in this video, but those people are at least operating with a basic understanding that there's a huge difference between rape and consensual sex with a minor. It's messy, it's complicated, it's nuanced, but no, we're the rape community. We apologize for rape because we like Milo. Fuck Milo, and fuck you, Tim.
I'm going to jump to Milo's defense a little bit here, because I've read stories of, like, people losing their virginity, like gay men losing their virginity, and most of the stories do seem to involve, I was 14, I was 15,
sure,
he was 20-something,
yes.
and all this stuff. And, it does seem more common in that community, so whatever.